Syrian government officials are meeting with Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces leader Mazloum Abdi. The meeting is part of ongoing efforts to follow up on an agreement signed in March between the SDF and the Syrian government. It recognises Kurdish rights and integrates SDF forces into the military and police as President Ahmed Al-Sharaa seeks to achieve unity amongst Syrian factions. Let's go to Osama bin Javaid, who is following the story from Damascus for us. Osama, so talk us through the significance of this meeting and what is likely to be discussed.
Well, it is the second time that we're seeing these Kurdish factions, both military and political, coming to Damascus and meeting the Syrian leadership. This is the first of its kind because it is now being brokered by the US Special Envoy, Tom Barrack, who's, we believe, still in the meeting. He was in Lebanon a couple of days ago, and now he's arrived in Syria and coordinating between these two sides. So this is the first meeting of its sorts between the north and the central government. The SDF, the Syrian Democratic Forces, a majority Kurdish-led force, has been spearheading the US coalition's fight against ISIS in the region, but also seems to have differences between them and the centralized now government in Damascus. The issues that they're going to be discussing, obviously, is reintegration into a centralized Syrian system, the issue of border crossings, of water resources, of the economy, and as well as all of the military factions that have been fighting ISIL, who have been provided weapons by Western allies to lay down their arms. This is an area which is close to the Turkish border as well. So obviously, not just internal, but there are regional concerns about any of these developments as well. But as you said, an agreement was signed in March where both sides agreed that they will come together and be part of a centralized umbrella of the Syrian government. Now, this implementation is due to take place and be completed by the end of the year. But from what we're hearing from Syrian sources, it could take longer than that. So it's a meeting of significance, but it also allows the Syrian government to ensure and tell not just the Syrian people, but the outside world as well, that it is in charge of the entire country.
And Osama, how is the new government doing in the eyes of Syrian people? Are there any divisions that you've seen?
But you see, this is a country which has been plagued by sectarian and ethnic and divisions on all levels and interference from foreign powers as well. So this government, which has come into power just a few months ago, has the task of rebuilding a country and reintegrating those polar forces which have been divided on all those lines. So by and large, all the divisions that we saw in the early days, whether it was coming from the west, from the Alawites, to the south from the Druze, or the north from the Kurds, are now seem to have been ironed over. Are they all over? Absolutely not. But there is an agreement that all of these sides will come under one umbrella, sit under one roof, and work towards a united Syria, a Syria which aspires to the hopes for all of its people, whether they are from any of its diverse ethnic or religious backgrounds. So it is an important step towards it. And this is one of those things that the outside world, as it normalizes ties with Syria after decades of the Assad family rule, is also demanding of this government that it needs to be inclusive. It needs to make sure that it not only represents the majority of the Syrian people, but all of its minorities as well. And this step of making sure that all of those parties are represented, including the Kurds and the Turkmen in the north, is going to be a major step towards it.
Okay, thank you for your reporting. Osama bin Javaid there for us in Damascus.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.